Welcome back, Zane here with you, and thank you for joining me today. In this video, I want to talk about the announcement that was made earlier this week that 5 million plus Australians are going to be receiving a cash boost to their welfare payments. Now, of course, this applies to age and disability pensions, to people on job seeker, people needing rent assistance, etc. So obviously, the factions of society who need that extra support due to the cost of living crisis, soaring rents, and high interest rates. But what is not spoken about is how we're paying for this. How is it that we're able to issue these blanket grants, if you like, to anybody in society when the government doesn't have the money to pay for it? Just purely by virtue of the fact that we're 900 billion plus in debt. And so, you and I might not be able to do anything about that on an individual level, but it really highlights the problem that we all face right now, and that is that this monetary system, this Ponzi scheme that we have and is at the end of its lifespan, this 50-year lifespan where we've been running a currency that's backed by absolutely nothing. This is the reason why we have soaring inflation the way that we do. And nobody's talking about this. Everybody's blaming immigration, and they're blaming housing and a shortage of this and a shortage of that. And whilst those are definitely factors, it's not the main problem. The main problem is inflation, and inflation is caused by reckless money spending. It's caused by continuing to expand the money supply without consensus from the people who inherently are exchanging their time and their value and their energy for that currency, and the value of that currency is constantly being expanded, and thereby their purchasing power is being diluted. And the quicker that people wake up to this fact, the quicker they're going to start doing some research into why we have a broken system of money, why there are so many brilliant people out there now who are now writing books and doing podcasts and sharing these insights with people about why this system is at the end of its lifespan. And we can sit there and say, well, look, this is going to continue on for as long as we don't have any say in the issuance of currency. And that's true to a degree, but we all have an opportunity to some extent to exit the system. And so for me, this again highlights that we're in a phase now where whether you believe in the Great Reset and the World Economic Forum and everything moving towards a globalist agenda and central bank digital currency, that whole thing may or may not take place. There's a large consensus that suggests that it will. But regardless of all that, the mere fact that we have soaring inflation and people are now struggling just to make ends meet, to maintain their standard of living, should be enough for all of us to begin to start educating ourselves about how it is that we can opt out of this system. And this is what I've chosen to do to a large extent. It's very difficult to get out of it completely, but definitely this is why I've spent a lot of time over the last 4 or 5 years researching about the history of money, fiat currencies, the fact that no fiat currency has ever survived. And even the US dollar, it's lost something like 98% of its value since 1913. And so we've got to get back to hard money. We've got to get back to stable currency. And whether or not we move back towards a gold standard or some other form of commodity-backed currency, I mean, that would be great, because it would mean that we wouldn't have runaway inflation the way that we do. We would have price stability. It would mean that people can plan for the future and put money away like we used to. We used to be able to save and know that, in 2 years, 3 years, 5 years from now, we're going to have some form of nest egg or savings that we can rely on to do something of value with. But now we don't have any of that. right now we're in a situation where people are only living for today. And this situation's only going to get worse. And this is why I encourage anybody who's interested in protecting their financial energy, their financial security, creating financial freedom, that they start learning about money. And so many great resources available. I'm happy to share some with you if you want to leave a comment down below and you need to be pointed in the right direction, but it's not that hard to find. And you know, learn about gold, learn about silver, learn about how gold for 5,000 years has preserved value and purchasing power as perfect money, and it continues to do that even to this day. Having said that, I'm a great believer that digital gold, i.e. Bitcoin, as an even more powerful source of not only storing value but actually improving and growing our purchasing power over time. And you can see that by the stats over the last 14 years since Bitcoin's inception, that it's been the best performing asset by far against all asset classes in the world, including real estate. And so whether you choose to go down that rabbit hole or you choose to just learn about money and to start realizing that this fiat system that we have is a broken system. There's a lot of education out there now that is helping people to raise their consciousness about protecting their financial energy. So whether you learn about gold, whether you learn about Bitcoin, whatever it is that you choose to learn about something, because I believe the worst thing you can do right now is nothing. When you see articles like this that came out this week, you know, you just got to understand that we're moving towards a socialist society if we're not there already. This game of governments just giving free handouts that, you know, doesn't go out for the population to vote for. They basically just pull the trigger wherever they see fit. We're already in debt. Can you imagine running a household constantly spending money recklessly when you're already in that much debt? You just couldn't survive. It couldn't happen. And yet our government does it year on year. And so that's the world we're in right now, folks. And so we've got to start thinking outside the square and being really smart about educating ourselves. And there are channels to exit the system, and that's what I believe in, and I hope you do too. And if you haven't started your journey to learning more, then you should start doing that. I want to thank you for listening. Have a great day. Please, if you like this video, give it a like. By all means, subscribe. I want to build this community and keep sharing every single day. And yeah, leave a comment below if something I said resonated with you, and I'd love to hear it. So thanks again for listening. This is Zane signing out. Until next time, have a great day.